Say you're about to share your experience. Please, can you go ahead and tell me your experience now?
I was born in Hawaii, part of the oppressed and the oppressors. I am a mixed person because our people population was 8,000 people left in 1908. We have rebounded back and now we are fighting for our self-determined rights, and everything that is illegal now has to be addressed and redressed. This is time for all of our people to stand up and stand together. Together, we are the majority. My ancestors, my elders tell me, my kupuna tell me that the plankton feeds the whales. Without us, everything falls. So my message to everybody who's listening is to stand and live. Stop asking. No more asking. No more complaining without solutions. Stand and live. And my other message here is it's time for us to take over their system. If they change the rules tomorrow, I will adapt and win. That's the stock of ancestors that we come from. They didn't fail. We here because they won. And now we here to right all of their wrongs in the human rights and international law spectrum.
Now, is it wrong for indigenous people now to seek for their rights?
When we look at our thinking of is it wrong, let's look at the states who occupy us currently. Their laws state that they are wrong. They know they are wrong. We have to leverage our rights and not be confined to our pain of what they did to us. If you are not on the table, you're on the menu. If you're not on the menu, then you're serving them our food. Sit on the table.
So, on the case of Hauwei, what is your challenge that you have come to address at the United Nations 16th expert mechanism on the rights of the indigenous people? Let him quickly answer this one.
Regard to what he just said about the United Nations Declaration, any country that is a signatory to the United Nations Declaration for indigenous people's rights all over the globe, any country that violated that right will be sanctioned. So
well, can I add to what he just said?
Yes. First of all, before you add, tell us your own challenges in Hawaii that you have come here to make a presentation. Then you will now respond to him.
I'll make this analogy. Indigenous people are in a new school. We have to call out the biggest bully on the yard first. Then all other bullies will stop. If we address the small, we will take 50 years to move an inch. Change for my people happen in a day with a pen. Change for our people can happen in an hour with a pen. We just have to learn how to use that pen.
Thank you very much. Then in response to what you just said now.
The UN UNDRIP, they will tell us that is non-binding. And they are right, because declarations are non-binding. However, this is the caveat that they don't tell us. All of the UN UNDRIP is 80% based on current state laws, which are binding. The UN UNDRIP was based on international customary human rights laws. So when they tell you the declaration is not binding, tell them, but that declaration is based on this law, and that law is binding. The only problem with this situation is we don't educate ourselves in the process. We fall in love with our purpose and we forget about our reason. We need to stop hugging our pain. Time for us to rise. Yeah? One community, one earth. Even the Europeans, even the people who we call our oppressors need our help. We have one earth, one canoe. If we flip this canoe, all of us are dead.
One jury to one.
Now we need to really get your introduction, get to meet you well.
So I am Christopher Oliveira. I was raised in Hawaii. I had a very challenging childhood. I was put into foster home at 3 years old. I ended up doing drugs at a very young age, heavy drugs, and ended up selling drugs at a very young age. At 18, 19 years old, I joined the military, the U.S. Army, because that was the only option left in my homelands. 2 years in the military, I also got kicked out of the military, which also saved my life. After coming back from the whole military, I worked a few miscellaneous jobs, and I started to see that my time was more important than the money. And I met a very old elder who adopted me as a man and showed me support no matter what I did. He put me on tables where I couldn't even get into the door before. My advice to anybody in this struggle is not to look for just an elder, look for the elder.
This is a strong word.
Yes? Not any elder. People are people even when they get old. Look for the elder. And you align yourself with that value system. Because without our temples, this is how you subjugate a people. You take their science and you turn it into superstition. This is what they did to all of us. They said these were myths and stories. And my people never believed it. We said, no, this is our science. I can take a picture of the half man, half shark. They miscommunicated how we were addressing information. When you don't write down your culture, you have to be concise. You have to create story and picture. And the reality is the codex and the algorithm to reveal our people's story and our picture. We have a concept called ka'ananiao. It means to manage the rolling beauty of time. Indigenous people around the world understand me. Our ancestors made these stories based on the timeless, the self-repeating pattern of the sky. Your story may be different than my story if we're direct, but if we put heaven, the universe in the middle, we translate perfectly. The colonizer's language does not separate us. It's an opportunity for us to connect directly. Yes?
This is powerful. Thank you very much.
Love you guys.
So
love you, brother. Love you, brother.
Mom.
Love you, sister.
Love you,
At
Mom.
this
Who
junction,
needs to go to the
at this junction,
I must tell you that I will say that
junction-
your video will be played in cinema in Africa. It will educate a lot of people. You will get a lot of feedback. We'll get your email. We'll get your site also where people will now connect with you as a facilitator. We even have to organize symposium when we come to Africa. You see, talk to our people, and we also come to Hawaii so that we will solidify this partnership. I am not taking this for granted. Thank you very much.
At this junction, can we join our hands together and say, let United Nations wake up to their responsibility to sanction any country that violates the indigenous people's rights and across the globe?
Ew.